Hope you liked episode 2. Let's dive into Creepy Chronicles episode 3. The Sasquatch Encounter. As the snow fell heavily outside my hospital window, I tried to piece together the horrifying events that had transpired on that fateful night. It had all started when I had to drop some inebriated guests off at the farm, miles away from town. I was the designated driver, the only sober one among them, and little did I know that this responsibility would lead me to encounter true terror. With the guests laughing and enjoying the ride in the back of the pickup truck, I navigated the creepy road leading to the farm. As we ventured deeper into the darkness, an eerie feeling settled over me. I couldn't shake off the fact that I was someone known to have demons attached to myself. An old tantric had warned me that there were 68 demons perpetually lurking in my presence. Whether it was a curse or a mere superstition, I could not deny the chilling sensations that accompanied me. The farm was situated amidst a desolate area, and the winding, snow-covered road leading to the guest houses gave me goosebumps. Despite the treacherous conditions, the guests seemed oblivious to the danger, finding excitement in the thrill of the ride. I dropped them off and began my journey back, the lingering unease making me wish they had stayed back in town. As the diesel in the truck started to run low, I made a stop at a remote gas station. It was 2 a.m., and the attendant seemed startled when I woke him from his slumber. He warned me about creepy Sasquatch sightings in the area and advised against going right when the road split. The darkness and fatigue clouded my judgment, but something inexplicable compelled me to turn right. The demons within me seemed to push me towards that dark path, and I found myself unable to resist. As I drove along that sinister road, something peculiar caught my attention, a shadowy figure running alongside my car at the same speed. Panic gripped me, and before I could react, the truck skidded on the icy surface, leading to a horrifying accident. The next thing I knew was waking up outside the wreckage, my body battered, and the freezing cold air biting into my skin. My eyes met with a creature beyond comprehension, a hairy, monstrous being that was unmistakably a Sasquatch. Fear consumed me as the creature yanked me from the car wreckage, its foul stench filling the air. My consciousness slipped away, overwhelmed by the nightmarish encounter. The following day, I found myself lying in a hospital bed, disoriented and traumatized. Fragments of the previous night's events haunted me, but the memories remained elusive, buried under the weight of the trauma. The doctors, unable to explain my miraculous survival, concluded that I must have encountered some wild animal in the wilderness. However, deep down, I knew the truth was much more terrifying. The demons that had always been part of me seemed to have led me straight into the clutches of the Sasquatch. The sightings the gas station attendant warned me about were real, and the encounter was something I could never forget, even if my mind tried to suppress it. From that day on, my life took a dark turn. I became a recluse, haunted by the chilling memories and the lurking demons. The Sasquatch encounter had left an indelible mark on my soul, and the once vibrant person I used to be faded into a mere shadow of myself. As years passed, I delved into researching the myth of the Sasquatch, hoping to find answers and perhaps some semblance of closure. But every piece of evidence I came across only served to deepen my terror. The more I learned, the clearer it became that the creature I encountered was not alone, and that there were others lurking in the wilderness, far away from human eyes. The demons that plagued me seemed to feed off my fear, growing stronger and more malevolent with time. They became my constant companions, whispering malevolent thoughts and tempting me towards darkness. It felt as if the Sasquatch encounter had opened a door to an unknown realm, and now, both the demons and the creature wanted something from me. Each passing night became a struggle between sanity and insanity, reality and nightmare. The Sasquatch became a recurring presence in my dreams, haunting me even when I was awake. I couldn't escape the feeling that it was watching me, waiting for the right moment to strike again. My story became a cautionary tale among the locals, a tale of a man tormented by both the supernatural and the demons within himself. The once hospitable community now shunned me, afraid of the darkness that clung to my every step. As the years turned into decades, I resigned myself to my fate, a life imprisoned by terror, never able to escape the clutches of the Sasquatch or the demons. I have come to accept that my encounter was no mere chance event. It was a reminder that there are things in this world beyond our comprehension, lurking in the shadows, and that some mysteries are best left unsolved. So, as I lie here in this hospital bed, the memories of that horrific night still fresh in my mind, I can't help but wonder if I am destined to become a mere footnote in the annals of the unknown. Perhaps my tale will serve as a warning to those who dare to venture into the darkness, for the Sasquatch and the demons await, eager to claim their next victim. And as the snow continues to fall outside my window, I can't help but fear that the nightmarish encounter is far from over, and that the demons and the Sasquatch are closer than ever before. Shadows in the wilderness. I had always been fascinated by the unknown, drawn to stories of creatures that lurked in the shadows beyond our understanding. Legends of the Sasquatch had always piqued my curiosity, and I longed to experience a true encounter with the enigmatic beast. Little did I know that my insatiable thirst for the supernatural would lead me to a nightmarish encounter beyond my wildest imagination. It was the peak of autumn, and the forests surrounding my small town were ablaze with hues of gold and crimson. The air was crisp, and the distant howls of wolves added a sense of mystique to the already haunting landscape. I couldn't resist the allure of the wilderness that lay just beyond my doorstep. Armed with a backpack filled with essentials, a sturdy flashlight, and a notepad, I set out on my quest for the truth about the Sasquatch. The sun was beginning to dip below the horizon as I entered the heart of the forest. With each step, I felt the familiar sense of trepidation mixed with excitement. As the daylight waned, the forest grew darker, and the shadows seemed to dance around me. The woods had a way of playing tricks on the mind, and I couldn't shake off the feeling that I was being watched. But I pushed forward, my curiosity driving me deeper into the unknown. The journey was arduous, and the uneven terrain made progress slow. The sound of twigs snapping underfoot echoed through the stillness, sending shivers down my spine. My mind conjured up images of the Sasquatch lurking behind every tree, but I tried to dismiss such thoughts as mere products of an overactive imagination. Hours passed, and the moon rose high in the night sky, casting an ethereal glow on the forest floor. I reached a clearing that felt strangely desolate, as if an ominous force had cleared it of any signs of life. It was then that I heard it, a low, guttural growl that sent chills down my spine. My heart pounded in my chest as I slowly turned around, shining my flashlight into the darkness. And there it was, a massive, hulking figure standing on two legs, covered in coarse, dark fur. The Sasquatch. The legends had been true all along. I couldn't tear my gaze away from the creature's piercing eyes, which seemed to hold both wisdom and a primal ferocity. Fear and awe washed over me in equal measure, and I realized that I was in the presence of something beyond human comprehension. The Sasquatch took a step forward, and I felt a mix of terror and fascination that held me rooted to the spot. Its movements were surprisingly agile, and I couldn't help but marvel at the raw power it exuded. However, the creature showed no signs of aggression. Instead, it regarded me with an enigmatic expression. Time seemed to slow as the encounter stretched into eternity. My mind raced, trying to make sense of what I was witnessing. This was a moment I had yearned for, yet now that it was unfolding before my eyes, I questioned the wisdom of my pursuit. As if sensing my internal struggle, the Sasquatch emitted a low, rumbling sound that felt like a mix of curiosity and warning. It seemed to convey that the wilderness was its domain, and my intrusion was not welcomed. In that moment, I realized the folly of my actions. I had ventured too far into the unknown, seeking a thrill that had now become a perilous reality. I had no understanding of the Sasquatch's true nature or intentions. It could be a creature of myth and legend, or it could be something far more dangerous. With a newfound humility, I took a step back, a gesture of respect and acknowledgement of the Sasquatch's sovereignty over these untamed lands. The creature seemed to understand my submission, its intense gaze softening slightly. For a few moments, we stood there in silence, two beings from different worlds sharing an unspoken connection. And then, with surprising grace, the Sasquatch turned and melted back into the shadows of the forest, leaving me with a mix of relief and wonderment. As I made my way back home, the weight of the encounter settled upon me. I had sought the truth about the Sasquatch, and I had found it, but it was not the truth I had expected. The creature was not a mere figment of folklore, it was a real, living being, a guardian of the wilderness. From that day on, I carried the memory of the Sasquatch encounter with me, a reminder that there are mysteries in this world beyond our comprehension. The forest, once a source of fascination and adventure, now held an air of reverence and caution. I shared my tale with only a few close friends, aware that many would dismiss it as a product of an overactive imagination. But those who listened could see the sincerity in my eyes, and they knew that my encounter with the Sasquatch had left an indelible mark on my soul. And so, I continue to wander the edges of the wilderness, no longer seeking thrill or fame, but rather seeking harmony with the natural world. The Sasquatch taught me that some mysteries are better left untouched, and that the pursuit of knowledge must always be tempered with respect and humility. The shadows in the wilderness hold secrets that may forever elude our understanding, and perhaps that is for the best. The Sasquatch, a guardian of the untamed lands, remains a symbol of the enigmatic beauty and power of the natural world, a reminder that there is still much we have yet to learn about the world around us. And so, as I venture into the woods, I carry with me the memory of that haunting encounter, forever humbled by the mysteries that lie beyond the veil of the known. For in the shadows of the wilderness, the Sasquatch roams, an eternal enigma, a testament to the wonders and terrors that await those who dare to explore the unknown. The Frozen Guardian of Transylvania. The snowy region of Transylvania was a land of folklore, where legends whispered through the chilling winds and danced in the shadows of the towering mountains. Among the tales of vampires and werewolves, there existed a legend that intrigued me like no other, the legend of the Sasquatch. I was an intrepid explorer, drawn to the mysteries of the world, and the thought of encountering the enigmatic Sasquatch in this remote and snow-covered wilderness thrilled me to no end. Armed with my camera, journal, and a heart filled with both trepidation and excitement, I embarked on a journey into the heart of Transylvania. The snow-capped peaks loomed majestically over the landscape, and the biting cold seeped through my layers of clothing. As I trekked deeper into the snowy expanse, I couldn't shake off the feeling that I was being watched. The folklore and eerie ambience of the region seemed to come alive around me, and I wondered if the legends were not mere myths after all. One evening, as the sun began its descent, casting long shadows across the pristine snow, I stumbled upon an ancient, abandoned cabin. The sight of the weathered structure ignited my curiosity, and I couldn't resist exploring its mysteries. Pushing open the creaky door, I stepped inside, greeted by the musty smell of age and memories long forgotten. The cabin was small, with time-worn furniture and faded tapestries adorning the walls. It felt as though time had stood still in this place, and the echoes of its past whispered through the air. Little did I know that the cabin's secrets were about to reveal themselves. As night descended, the temperature dropped even further, and the cold seeped through the cracks in the cabin's walls. I lit a small fire in the hearth, seeking warmth and solace from the icy grip of winter. The dancing flames cast eerie shadows on the walls, seemingly bringing the cabin to life with their flickering dance. As I settled down near the fire, an unsettling feeling washed over me, and I couldn't help but think of the Sasquatch. In the legends, it was said that the creature was a guardian of the wilderness, protecting its domain from those who sought to exploit its mysteries. Was it watching me now, wary of my presence in this sacred land? Suddenly, a faint sound reached my ears, a distant, haunting howl that made my heart skip a beat. My pulse quickened as I strained to identify the source. It was not a howl of a wolf, it was something far more primal and chilling. My instincts told me to leave, but my curiosity kept me rooted to the spot. The cabin seemed to groan in the winter wind, and the shadows danced eerily around me. I felt a presence in the room, a feeling that I was not alone. But when I turned to investigate, there was nothing but darkness. As the night wore on, the cabin felt less like a shelter and more like a prison. My mind played tricks on me, conjuring images of shadows that seemed to move independently of the flickering firelight. The legends of Transylvania seemed to take on a life of their own, and I couldn't help but wonder if I had trespassed into a realm where reality and myth intertwined. And then, as the clock struck midnight, I heard it, a heavy thud against the cabin's walls, followed by an eerie silence. It was as though the very forest held its breath, anticipating the unknown. Fear and curiosity battled within me, and I knew I had to investigate the source of the disturbance. Bracing myself, I stepped outside into the frigid night. The snow crunched under my feet, and the moon bathed the landscape in an otherworldly glow. As I circled the cabin, I saw it, a massive, dark silhouette moving among the trees. My heart pounded in my chest as I strained to make out the figure. It was no wolf or bear, it was something more humanoid, standing upright and covered in fur. The Sasquatch. The legends had led me to the creature of myth and mystery. With my camera in hand, I approached cautiously, not wanting to startle the majestic being. Its eyes met mine, and in that moment, I felt a connection that transcended language and understanding. It seemed to recognize my curiosity, and instead of a sense of danger, I felt a strange calmness wash over me. The Sasquatch let out a low rumble, a sound that seemed both ancient and wise. It regarded me with an intensity that sent shivers down my spine, yet I knew it meant me no harm. This creature was a guardian, a sentinel of the snowy wilderness, and its watchful eyes seemed to convey a message of respect and understanding. In that moment, I realized that the legends of the Sasquatch were not just tales to frighten children. The creature was an integral part of the land, a living embodiment of the wilderness it called home. It had seen civilizations rise and fall, and it had remained a steadfast guardian through the ages. As the night wore on, I stayed in the presence of the Sasquatch, capturing images that I knew would be etched into history. Our encounter was a dance of mutual curiosity, a meeting of two beings from different worlds. I felt humbled and privileged to have glimpsed into the secrets of the snowy Transylvanian region. When dawn broke, the Sasquatch bid me farewell with another rumbling growl, a gesture of respect and acceptance. As it disappeared into the depths of the forest, I knew that this encounter would forever change me. The legend had become a reality, and my beliefs in the unknown had solidified. As I trekked back to civilization, I carried the memory of the Sasquatch with me, a reminder that there are mysteries in this world that go beyond our understanding. The snowy region of Transylvania held secrets that would forever remain concealed, but I knew that the guardian of the wilderness would continue its silent watch, forever entwined with the ancient legends of this enigmatic land. Footprints in the snow. The Alaskan wilderness has always been a place of wonder and mystery, a vast expanse where nature reigns supreme. As a seasoned explorer, I had ventured into the frozen heart of this untamed land on numerous occasions, seeking its hidden secrets. Yet, none of my previous journeys could have prepared me for the chilling encounter that would forever alter the course of my life. It was the peak of winter, and the snowy landscape gleamed under the pale moonlight. The air was icy, and each breath hung in front of me like a ghostly wisp. My team and I were on a mission to study the wildlife in this remote region, hoping to document rare species and uncover new insights about their behavior. As we set up our camp in a sheltered valley, we knew we were far from civilization, with no human contact for miles. The isolation added an extra layer of excitement to our expedition. The prospect of being the first to witness an extraordinary sight fueled our determination. In the days that followed, we trudged through the snow, collecting data and documenting our findings. The pristine wilderness surrounded us, seemingly untouched by time. However, our sense of wonder quickly turned into a haunting feeling that we were not alone. Late one evening, as we sat huddled around a crackling fire, we heard a distant howl that sent shivers down our spines. The sound was unlike anything we had encountered before, and it seemed to carry a primal intensity that reverberated through the very core of our beings. One by one, the members of my team exchanged concerned glances. We were seasoned explorers, but this sound was unlike anything we had encountered in our vast experiences in the wild. It was as if the Alaskan wilderness was trying to warn us of an ancient secret it held. Despite our unease, we pressed on with our research, determined to uncover the source of the mysterious howl. The days grew colder, and the nights darker, as the Alaskan winter tightened its icy grip on the land. Our supplies were running low, but our resolve remained unyielding. It was on a bitterly cold morning that we discovered the first signs of something extraordinary. As we trudged through a fresh layer of snow, we stumbled upon enormous footprints, imprinted deep into the powdery surface. The tracks were unlike anything we had seen before, massive, elongated, and distinctly humanoid. My heart pounded as I followed the tracks, each step bringing me closer to an enigma that defied explanation. The footprints led us deeper into the heart of the snowy wilderness, where the trees stood like sentinels, guarding the secrets that lay within. As we followed the trail, the howls grew louder, their haunting echo seemingly guiding us toward an unknown destination. The landscape felt alive with an unseen presence, and I couldn't shake off the feeling that we were being watched. Nightfall descended, casting an inky darkness upon the wilderness. We set up camp once again, our nerves on edge, and the sense of foreboding palpable in the air. Despite our fear, curiosity drove us to continue our pursuit of the truth. The following day, the footprints led us to a secluded cave nestled in the heart of a snow-laden mountainside. The howls echoed from within, resonating like an ancient song that beckoned us closer. The cave exuded an aura of mystery, as if it held the key to the secrets of the Alaskan wilderness. With trepidation, we ventured into the cavern's depths, our flashlights illuminating the ancient walls adorned with ice crystals. The air was heavy with a primal energy, and an unsettling sensation gnawed at the edges of my consciousness. As we delved deeper, we stumbled upon something that left us in stunned disbelief. A collection of ancient artifacts lay scattered across the cave floor, crude stone tools, ancient carvings, and remnants of long-forgotten rituals. It was as if we had stepped into a time capsule, revealing a chapter of history buried beneath the ice and snow. The realization dawned upon us that this was no ordinary cave, it was a sacred place, a shrine to a forgotten past. And at the heart of this sacred chamber, we beheld the source of the enigmatic footprints and haunting howls. There, standing tall and majestic, was a Sasquatch, a creature of myth and legend, a living embodiment of the stories passed down through generations. Its eyes held a wisdom that transcended time, and its presence exuded a sense of guardianship over the ancient secrets of the Alaskan wilderness. For a moment, time seemed to stand still, and we were locked in an unspoken exchange with the Sasquatch. Fear, awe, and reverence mingled within me as I gazed upon this elusive creature. It made no move to harm us. Instead, it regarded us with a sense of curiosity, as if it too sought answers from our presence. The encounter left us in awe and deep introspection. We realized that this majestic being was not merely a creature of folklore, it was a living testament to the interconnectedness of all life on Earth. The Sasquatch had been a witness to the unfolding of the world, a silent observer of the ever-changing tapestry of nature. With newfound humility, we retreated from the cave, leaving the Sasquatch to its ancient dwelling. We knew that we had been granted a rare glimpse into a world beyond our understanding, a realm where the boundaries between reality and myth blurred. As we made our way back to civilization, the memory of the Sasquatch encounter remained etched in our minds, a testament to the wonders that await those who venture into the uncharted territories of the world. The Alaskan wilderness had revealed its secrets to us, and we were forever changed by the encounter with the guardian of the snowy region, the enigmatic Sasquatch. Shadows on Everest. The majestic Himalayas had always held a mystical allure, and Mount Everest, the tallest peak in the world, was the ultimate challenge for climbers like myself. I had spent years preparing for this moment, and finally, the day had arrived when I would embark on the expedition of a lifetime. Little did I know that my quest to conquer the formidable mountain would lead me to an encounter with a legend that lurked in the snowy shadows. Our team of experienced climbers set out from the base camp, determined to conquer the summit of Mount Everest. The biting cold and unforgiving terrain only fueled our determination. We trudged through the snow, our breaths visible in the icy air, as we made our way higher and higher into the heavens. As the days passed, we faced challenges that tested both our physical and mental endurance. The treacherous weather conditions, avalanches, and dizzying heights were constant reminders of the risks we took. Yet, the allure of the peak and the desire to achieve the impossible drove us forward. One evening, as we settled in our tents, the wind howled like a banshee, rattling the flaps of our temporary shelters. Despite the exhaustion, sleep eluded me, and an unsettling feeling gnawed at the back of my mind. It was as if the mountain itself was whispering warnings, cautioning us against our audacious endeavor. The following day, we continued our ascent, determined to reach the summit. But the weather gods had other plans. A fierce snowstorm engulfed the mountain, enveloping us in a whiteout. Visibility was reduced to mere inches, and each step felt like an eternity. As the blizzard raged on, we decided to halt our progress and seek shelter in a small cave we stumbled upon. The frigid air inside the cave offered little respite from the relentless cold, but it was better than being exposed to the elements outside. Inside the cave, my mind played tricks on me. Every creak and groan of the ice and snow sounded like whispers, and I couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. My teammates brushed off my concerns as mere nerves, attributing it to the stress of the climb and the isolation of our surroundings. As the night wore on, the storm showed no signs of abating. I huddled close to my companions, seeking warmth and reassurance. However, even in the safety of their presence, a sense of unease continued to linger. In the dead of night, the wind suddenly died down, and an eerie silence settled over the mountain. The atmosphere seemed to change, and the cave felt more claustrophobic than ever. It was as if the very mountain itself was holding its breath, waiting for something. Then, a distant sound echoed through the darkness, a deep, guttural growl that sent a chill down my spine. My heart raced as I clung to my ice axe, ready to defend myself against any potential threat. My mind raced, trying to make sense of what I had heard. Did anyone else hear that? I whispered, my voice barely audible over the sound of our collective breathing. My teammates exchanged glances, their faces pale with fear. There was no denying it, we had all heard the unsettling growl. But what could possibly produce such a sound in this desolate, frozen wilderness? Another growl, closer this time, shattered the silence. Panic gripped us, and we knew we had to leave the cave immediately. Gathering our gear, we ventured back into the storm, desperate to put as much distance as possible between us and whatever lurked in the shadows. Despite our exhaustion, we pressed on, the adrenaline driving us forward. With each step, the growls seemed to draw nearer, a haunting reminder of the peril we were in. Our headlamps pierced the darkness, revealing fleeting glimpses of the icy terrain. As dawn approached, the snowstorm finally began to subside, allowing us some respite from the relentless fury of nature. We decided to set up camp and rest for a while, hoping to regain our strength before continuing our descent. However, our brief respite was short-lived. As the first light of dawn bathed the mountainside, we caught sight of something that froze us in our tracks: footprints, enormous and unmistakable, imprinted in the snow. There was no mistaking it, these were the footprints of a creature that was not of this world. Panic and awe mingled within us, and we knew that we had encountered the legendary Sasquatch. The realization hit us like a ton of bricks: we were not alone on this mountain. The legends of the Sasquatch that we had heard back in our hometown were not mere fables, they were rooted in truth. Terrified, we decided to descend the mountain as quickly as possible, putting as much distance as we could between ourselves and the elusive creature. But the Sasquatch had other plans. As we made our way down the treacherous slopes, a bone-chilling howl echoed through the valley, signaling that we were still within its domain. We ran, hearts pounding, legs burning, and lungs gasping for breath. The snow-covered landscape seemed to stretch on forever, and each time we stole a glance over our shoulders, we caught glimpses of the Sasquatch, its massive form blending effortlessly with the wintry terrain. Hours turned into days as we continued our harrowing descent. The Sasquatch was relentless in its pursuit, and we knew that our only hope of survival lay in reaching the safety of the base camp. Exhausted and on the brink of collapse, we finally stumbled into the base camp, our bodies battered and our minds haunted by the horrors we had witnessed. Our fellow climbers stared at us with a mix of concern and disbelief as we recounted our encounter with the legendary creature. In the days that followed, we shared our story with the world, hoping that our harrowing experience would serve as a warning to others who dared to venture into the snowy depths of Mount Everest. But most dismissed our account as a delusion, attributing it to the altitude and exhaustion we had faced during our climb. Yet, in our hearts, we knew the truth. The Sasquatch was real, and its presence on Mount Everest was a testament to the mysteries that still lie hidden in the remote corners of our world. As for me, I have left the mountains behind, haunted by the memory of that chilling encounter. The allure of the unknown no longer calls to me, instead, I seek solace in the warmth and safety of civilization. But deep down, I know that the shadows of Mount Everest hold secrets that will forever remain untamed. The Sasquatch roams the snowy slopes, a guardian of the wilderness, a legend that will continue to captivate the hearts and minds of those who dare to dream of the unknown. And though I have returned to the world of the ordinary, a part of me will forever remain in the icy embrace of the Himalayas, forever haunted by the enigmatic shadow that is the Sasquatch.